Morning, everybody. This is Ruth calling from Arizona in the desert. Still 90 degrees, mid-October. And today we're going to be talking about children's health. More so children than babies, but I'm going to be giving some tips about usage with oils and babies as well, and some products that were developed specifically for little ones. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the A to Z chewables. And I just, I went through my convention kit and picked these up. Lucky Brenda, always teasing. Okay, the A to Z chewables is a proprietary formula of ingredients developed for children or adults who have difficulty swallowing capsules. This chewable is a combination of vitamins B, A, C, and E, as well as other botanical extracts. It's formulated to be used in conjunction with the IQ Mega omega-3 fish oils. So it's interesting that I found that this is also good for adults because I do a lot of Zytoscans, and this one comes up quite a bit for people. In addition to all the other vitamins, sometimes this one stands out. And I think it's really interesting to say, well, you know, it's a chewable children's vitamin that the scan's recommending to you. But it's great for adults too. It has everything that an adult or a child would need. This one's recommended for children 4 years and up. And the reason why you would want to maybe use it with your kids or let your kids have them is that cellular stress is predominantly from free radicals that attach to other healthy molecules and can cause damage. Cells are equipped to defend against free radical damage by employing electron-rich molecules called antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin A and E, and others to help neutralize free radical molecules. The A to Z supports healthy cell function by providing antioxidant protection to cellular DNA. Hold on, I got to mute someone else. And I will read the comments when we're done. And this is a really short call today. So the chewables are safe for kids. And they now come with a great watermelon flavor. And I haven't tasted these, but I can tell you that when these first came out, I got them for the boys. This is the first time I'm going to taste it. I got them for the boys and they didn't like them. They said that they were gross and they refused to chew on them. So I'm going to taste it and see if I like it. And they've got a cute little smiley face on there. I don't know if you guys can see that. The watermelon's strong. They added the new watermelon flavor this year at convention. It was a new product that was released. It's not bad. It's kind of tart and chalky, but it's totally edible. Kind of like the Flintstones vitamins. I don't know if everybody chewed those when they were kids, but I used to eat them as kids. It's kind of tangy, so not terrible. I like it, actually. The A to Z chewable contains a superfood blend that helps support overall health and wellness. And these chewables contain no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial sweeteners, no artificial colors, or artificial flavors. So it includes a blend of bioavailable minerals such as calcium, magnesium, zinc, copper, and manganese. The IQ Omega, I don't have any. We ran out. Because it's great to use in smoothies, and it's great because it's a liquid vitamin that you can take by the teaspoon. It's a fish oil, but it doesn't taste fishy. It tastes like wild orange. So it's totally, you can get it down their throats. They don't mind. So the IQ Mega omega-3 fish oil contains the essential nutrients EPA and DHA to support healthy brain, cardiovascular, immune, and joint function. Essential fatty acids are nutrients required for many key functions in the human body, including cell growth, brain development, muscle activity, immune function, joint health, and many others. And while some fatty acids cannot be produced by our bodies, we have to rely on food that we eat to supply us with important nutrients. By taking the IQ Mega, you can promote cardiovascular health, support healthy joint function and comfort, and it promotes healthy skin. So you can use it in conjunction with the chewables. I think the watermelon and the orange flavor is a nice combination that most kids won't turn their nose up at. Did you try this one? Amar's on the floor exercising. The A to Z chewable?
The new one?
Yeah. Want to try it right now? Amar's going to try it, and then you can hear some feedback from him. Yeah, they're on the phone. Okay. This is the other one. This is the PB Assist. These are brand new. They just came out.
You ever been chopped?
Sour and chalky, but still edible.
It's amazing. I love them, Sarah.
It's a probiotic that looks and tastes just like a pixie stick. And it only has, so this looks like a full packet, but it actually is just this much. And it's not as sweet or sour as a pixie stick, but it does have a pleasant taste. I myself don't want to just pour it in there, so I poured it in a bottle of water and drank that. It just gives it a nice flavor. But Amar takes these whole. He likes them. He says they're delicious. He likes them. So they're created for children and adults alike that have trouble swallowing pills. So I think they'd be good for older people too that maybe have a hard time swallowing pills. Probiotics or one stick or sachet includes 5 billion live cells of a unique blend of 6 different probiotic strains, specifically selected for their benefits among children. Probiotics play a really important role for optimal digestive health. They can help overall digestion of food, but they can also aid in the absorption of vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients. They can also aid in the elimination of toxins and other waste in the body. So some benefits of taking this probiotic for children are you can create a healthy intestinal microflora balance, and it supports a healthy the health of the GI tract. So particularly the intestines and colon are important to maintain a health, because it supports healthy brain function and nervous system function. And I know that many of us have been researching about gut health, and that it can lead to, if you have improper or not ideal gut health, it can lead to depression, it can lead to sadness, it can lead to a whole host of other issues. So it's really important to maintain a healthy gut flora, and this can help. What I was listening to a Periscope this morning about PDSS, just a little bit. She didn't talk a whole lot about it, but she said that you have to take this daily, that if you've been out of balance for a number of years, it's going to take your body a little bit of time to rebalance itself out. So this is, I just got another box of this. It's in my LRP because we're running out of these fairly quickly with Amar. He's the one that usually uses it. But it's an easy way to take a probiotic, and it doesn't have to be refrigerated. Okay. That's all I'm going to cover for pills and supplements. Now we're going to talk a little bit about oils. So many of the oils are safe to use on babies and children. The recommendation is that you always use a carrier oil when you're using any oil on a small child. And small child, I would say, is under 12. I think as they get into the teen years and you're supporting their bodies changing hormonally and you're helping them get through puberty, I think that you have to rethink how you're supplementing or how you're using oils with them. So though carrier oils are recommended with children, I think it's really neat and awesome that doTERRA has created a touch system, which is the essential oil in a roll-on bottle with the carrier oil. This is lavender. Lavender is great for sleep, relaxation, and bug bites. And on Saturday, and I actually wrote this down. On Saturday, I went to a health event with Estella and with Kenya, and I was sitting doing Zyto scans, and suddenly I was getting bit by ants. Just every once in a while, I was getting bit by ants. And then my feet started getting covered with ants, and I wasn't sure what was going on. My purse was sitting next to me. We had gone to the movies a couple days before, and somebody spilled a box of Raisinets in my purse. My purse sitting there in the sun in 90-degree weather, the chocolate started to melt, and the ants discovered the chocolate before I did. So my feet were covered with ants. I picked up my purse. My hands got covered with ants, and I got bit really badly. So I dumped my whole purse on the rocks. everything, all the chocolate, all the cough drops, my wallet, my makeup, everything was on the rocks. And I cleaned off all the ants. I killed all the ants in my purse and on my arms, and they were everywhere. And then I got this one out because I carry this in my purse. I got this at convention, and it's really handy because it keeps a whole bunch of roll-ons. And lately I'm like, I love my roll-ons. I like bottles, but lately the roll-ons are really, really convenient. So I got out this lavender and I rolled it onto basically my whole body, like my feet, all over my feet, all over my hands to stop the itch. Because this is great when you get a bug bite. So let me scroll down. So lavender is really fast acting for bug bites, for scrapes, for cuts. It's a really great oil and roll-on to have on hand, but I always recommend like buying multiple so that you're not sharing with everybody. So let me see. Oh, I scrolled too far. Okay, so once I did the lavender on my skin, the ants were still everywhere. So I had a bottle of peppermint in my purse too. This is brief, but I had peppermint and I just kind of dotted it around me and on my clothes because ants don't like peppermint. So it's good to have bottles too, but this is great for itchiness. I will say when my cousin and we went to Mexico last summer, and mosquitoes in central Mexico are horrendous. And I used my TerraShield, I used my Purify, and we got bit a lot. And the lavender did not help with those bites. I still really, really itched badly. And we went through a few bottles of lavender that week. But it's great on bug bites, but it's not a cure-all for all bug bites. There may have been something better to put on my skin for those mosquito bug bites because those were bad. So try different things is my point. On Guard is another great oil to have in a roll-on, especially for kids. And I keep it here in my purse because I like to use this as a hand sanitizer. And because I work with a lot of people, like the other day I was in the office and, it's that time of year where people come in, they're a little bit sniffly, they cough. So I just make sure I roll it on, before I start working with them because I don't want to get anything. So it helps to support the human body's immune system. And we talked a little bit about On Guard in their first call, but it's great to have. You can roll this on the bottom of kids' feet. You can roll it on the back of their neck. It doesn't have the burn that this one does because it's diluted. And it's the exact ratio of oil to coconut oil to be effective. So it's roll-ons are fantastic for kids. And during the fall and the winter, when the boys are surrounded by kids that are sniffling and coughing and surrounded by really gross germs, we make sure that we diffuse On Guard and we diffuse Breathe. And these are actually not mine. These are in my son's room, which is where I'm at. He diffuses these because he wasn't feeling so great last week, so he started diffusing Breathe and On Guard, and he's been doing that nightly. So inhaling oils aromatically is just as beneficial as putting them directly on your skin. But this is a really great tool, especially when, and make sure that your kids' hands and feet are clean before you put the oil on. Okay. There's also Breathe drops and On Guard drops, depending. Not everybody loves the taste of those at first. My boys, I'll keep them in a little candy dish downstairs, and they kind of eat them a lot, so I might have to hide them when I'm running low. But they really like the On Guard throat drops, and the Breathe drops are great in tea. So if we're having some pain, or what is the right word, Robin? What is the compliant word to talk about pain here? It's really great in tea. Drop one in a cup of tea and drink it. And it's really great to open up your airways, to soothe any kind of tired throat. And then also, you can make your own hand sanitizer. So there's recipes online. This is a great tool to have because there's a lot of recipes in this book You can make your, and then on doTERRA's blog, there's a lot of great recipes on there too for making different products. But hand sanitizer is a great product to have for little kids that you can just like make for yourself and keep it in your kid's backpack. Make sure they use that instead of the junk that the school, because you know every school year they ask you to bring in those big pumps of hand sanitizer. We don't do it. I have them always use On Guard instead. And the Correctex, it's in my bag actually. It's in the car. It's one of my, in the soccer bag. Because Correctex is a product that's not necessarily created for little kids, but I think that it gets rubbed most often on clumsy kids who fall down a lot. So young kids who are playing, they're riding their bikes, they're falling all the time. Correctex is a great product to have. And it's an ointment that's great for cuts and scrapes, and it helps to prevent infection and helps to kill off any kind of bacteria. And on the last topic, kids-wise, is Focus. And this is the roll-on that I use. I'm not a kid, but I work from home, so I need some Focus a lot of times. Intune is the Focus blend. It's a combination of oils that include amorous bark, patchouli, sandalwood, frankincense, lime, ylang ylang, I never say that right, and Roman chamomile. And it was created for those that suffer from lack of attention or focus. And the way to use this one, this is not a pre-diluted oil. This is just whole essential oils in here, a blend of whole essential oils without coconut oil. I think. No, it doesn't have coconut oil. So this one, you can rub it directly on the back of your neck or on your kid's neck, but some kids don't like the smell of this. So another way to do it is to put it on the back of their spine right before they get dressed in the morning. For me, I rub it into my skull, like beneath, right into my neck and right below my skull. And then I like to put it on my wrists. And if I want to on my neck, and I wear it as a perfume, because I like the smell of it now. I didn't always like the smell of Intune, but I think that it really helps, and it changes. The odor changes depending on your skin and your own body's oils and chemistries. So you can, if you want to, you can do the coconut oil. You can do like a teaspoon of coconut oil and then rub the oil into that and rub your hands together and, you know, rub their spine down if you're worried about the dilution. That's an option too, because that one isn't pre-diluted. And I've heard some kids say it's stinky, but I don't think it's Intune. Yeah, I'm more like, all the boys like it. And like Manny, he plays soccer, and sometimes, not always, but sometimes he'll ask for me to put Intune on him. Another great oil for Manny and Focus, because Manny sometimes focus. He has issues with focus. We'll do the frankincense and basil. Basil is one of those oils that people don't really talk about too much, but it has so many great properties and so many great uses. And so basil, at first he was like, I don't want to smell like a pizza, but a drop right on the back of his neck, he thinks it works great, and he will come and ask for me to put oils on him. Sometimes, not always. Boys are really sensitive about not wanting to smell like girls, especially he's 13 and he thinks he's a real hot shot and he thinks he's real sweet looking. So he's got that little attitude right now. Amar will wear oils. Emran, my 15-year-old, he will wear oils, but Nanny,
Not yet.
he's not there yet. He's not. He's too worried about what other people think. All right. Okay, basil also not pre-diluted. It's not one of those oils that we use all the time. In fact, the one that I have, the basil, it's a different bottle. It's like one of those old round bottles. So that bottle's at least 3 years old. I just reordered basil. So my new one's coming. Okay, that is it for a short intro into children's health. A male friend says, yeah, it does smell like.
Talk about lavender.
Yeah, I talked about lavender. I think Intune has a nice masculine scent too, but I'm okay with that. I used to wear colognes mixed with my perfumes in the day when I wore perfumes. Because I like men's colognes. What? Okay. Any questions? I can only see one screen. So let me get the gallery view going. There we go. Hello. Hi, friends. Okay. Questions.
Ruth, with the basil, would you think just straight on one drop of that is the best way? Or if they were smaller, maybe carrying a little thing to school and, they can't have multiple things, would it be as effective, do you think, if they did a mixture with Intune in a roller bottle?
Yeah, if I was I'd create a roller bottle. I'd put basil in it. I would put frankincense in it. I would put Intune in it and just create my own blend, my own focus blend. Because basil's great.
How do you decide whether layering the oils or blending the oils is best? Or is it kind of per, what your intentions are with it?
Layering as in how many drops and putting it, I remember the Peaceful Child blend and they would always talk about doing the specific layering.
Right.
Personally, I don't understand it because if you shake that bottle up, what's the point of layering it and being so careful? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm asking. I get that question all the time, and I feel like I'm always given well, this is the answer I give for you because this is how this is your outcome you're wanting. I would do it this way. But, somebody else could ask me the same question and they would have a different variable on what their outcome wanted to be. And I would be like, I would mix it in a roller bottle, dilute it, and call it happy. But I can't give them, real intelligent answer as to why I say that. It's kind of per person as to how I answer it. But if you're not seeing any great reason why one or the other, I don't either.
Well, okay, for instance, with the layering in the roller bottle, I don't see a point. But for something like spikenard, I did a Zyto the other day. Spikenard reeks on her skin. It smells so bad. And it was her top oil. She had 68 biomarkers at her range.
Wow.
40 of them were for spikenard. So it's one that she needs. So we put it on and she was like, oh, and I won't tell you what she called it or what it smells like because it smells really bad on her. So at that point, I would layer other stuff on top of it because you want to hide it. You want to hide that smell.
Right.
So there I see value in layering. But in terms of filling your roller bottles, I don't get it. I don't understand the difference. I don't know if anybody else, Brenda or Kenya or Katie or Angela. And Angela, oh yeah, ylang ylang stinks. I don't like it either. Angela, it says 2 chewable tablets. So take 2 a day.
Can I say one more thing about the A to Z real quick? It said on the bottle 4 years and up. When we were at convention, we went into the area where you could ask specific product questions. And one of the questions, I think it was Michelle, maybe it was Michelle that asked it. She has a 2-year-old. She's like, well, what is the proper dosage for that? It may not have been Michelle, but I think it was. And a half a dose. So a half in the morning and a half at night instead of doing the full dosage that's on the back of the bottle for kids under 4.
Okay.
So you might, if you've got a child under 4, you might want to email product support and verify that. But I know several children under 4 that do take the A to Z.
Okay. So it's probably better, if you have a 10-year-old, it's probably better to have 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening. The whole tablet, right?
Right.
Okay. And then LLV. Are they good? Yes, I think they're good for kids 13 and up. My 15-year-old takes them and I'm starting nanny on them because he's playing for the school soccer team. He plays for club and then December he starts a 3rd soccer thing. So he's worn out and he needs the LLV. I'm only going to start him on if he can remember, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. If not, he's going to be taking 2 in the morning with breakfast, but not 4. I don't think he's ready for 4. I'm not ready for 4.
Ruth,
Yeah. Yes.
you guys were talking about the smell of the spikenard and the ylang-ylang. You know, I was taught a long time ago that if the smell bothers you, if you don't like it, you don't need it. And that maybe you can come back in 6 months or a year and you might smell it and it smells fine. And I found that out for ylang-ylang. When I first started in doTERRA, I hated ylang-ylang. I couldn't stand it. But in about a year and a half, I came back and it's one of my favorite oils now. But it seems like our bodies, you know, it knows what it needs. And so sometimes that smell, you know, is telling you don't really need it. So I don't know.
I agree with you, Brenda. There's some oils that, like Elevation. When I first started, I hated Elevation. Intune, when it first came out, I hated it. And I changed. Like, our chemistry changes, our needs change. But that spikenard, I think across the spectrum, everybody's pretty consistent in that they don't like that smell. Who here likes spikenard that has smelled it? Kenya? Robin? Nope. No. Okay, 9.5. One of them only weighs 72 pounds. I guess the kids supplements. Yeah. Yeah, I think for 9, LLV is a little much for a 9-year-old. Brenda, have you gotten the spikenard yet? No. Okay.
No, I haven't got any of the new ones yet. We had some other situations here that we had to order more of something else. So it's on my list, but not yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting to like it because I heard it's really beneficial, but I'm not there yet. And it's supposed to be a super powerful oil. When Tara says that the page in the emotions book for spikenard is not right, that is not how she or Terry feels when they use it. So it's all about like having gratitude for things and not being so negative. That's what the page says, but that they say is not accurate. So I don't know. I'm confused with spikenard. I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those I'm gonna have for like years and years because it's not good. Yeah, I recorded. Okay, good. All right. Look at that hair. Getting a haircut tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Okay, there is a 480 number, 318-83. Is that Katie? She's watching and listening? And you guys know who Katie is, right? No? Katie's on our team page. She's helping us out with a lot of different things. I have 2 hair appointments. I forgot to cancel the other one. The other lady I'm not going to see anymore. Okay, and 512. Who is that? Yeah, that was my cousin. She private messaged me also. I have a comment. Let me figure this out. Oh, unmute yourself, Katie. That's how. So, Robin, I just told her pre-dilution, like dilute oils. But with preemies, I maybe would not give them oils. I just think their bodies are too tiny and too tender and sensitive that I wouldn't. But yeah, you have the book there?
I do. I wanted to show you guys this. This is the first thing I grabbed. I just haven't had time to jump back on Facebook to reply to that. It's the Essential Oils for Pregnancy, Birth, and Babies by Stephanie Fritz. She is a doTERRA. This is a doTERRA book about this. And so I looked that up real quick. And she literally gives oils within seconds of the baby being born. And I haven't read the whole, I've read this whole book, but I haven't reread that chapter completely. But honestly, I mean, clearly dilution and I mean dilution to like 1 drop of oil to like a whole 10 ml of fractionated coconut oil with, seriously dilute. But her methodology in here really led me to believe the way she writes this, that why not? Why would you not, kind of? Like, they need that support. They've been in this protective womb, and now they're like in this world, and they're like, she was talking about using frankincense on the crown and down the spine just to give the baby a sense of, this is going to be okay. And then for special needs, off the charts, absolutely yes, use oils. But here's the thing, what I have found is depending on the special need, there may be sensory issues, there may be smell issues, there may be, you fill in the blank. So you're going to have to do it what's going to, in a way, it's going to enhance the child's and support the child's needs, not, if they have a sensory issue and you're trying to rub it on their hands and they're having a total freak out, breakdown because you're rubbing it on their hands. So you're going to have to know your child's wishes and wants and desires and respect that in the fashion that you want these to be a positive thing for that child. And, it may be rubbing on the feet while they're napping, so they don't really know you're doing it, but they get that result. So special needs, yes, but take it in consideration of what are those special needs. I mean, there are times where me touching Rodney would be like the stupidest thing in the world to do because he doesn't want to be touched. So what do? I did it last Saturday. I put there were 5 diffusers downstairs. There's always 5 diffusers downstairs in my house. I put the oils that I knew he needed in every one of those diffusers where he couldn't escape it. And that helped to the point then I could, touch him and massage it on the back of his neck and he would, rub it in his wrist and he was fine with it. So anyway, I hope that helps.
It does. I just got a text saying you are so knowledgeable and smart.
Me?
Yeah.
I have you all fooled. I just read lots of books and I follow people like Ruth. So there you go.
You definitely know more. Well, I wanted to touch on the special needs. We had a wellness advocate on our team, and he buys, but he's not building or anything, but he has a special needs daughter. At the time, she was on a feeding tube. She was on a breathing tube. And we didn't really think it was safe to put oils on her, so he simply diffused. He would diffuse lavender. He would diffuse On Guard in her room, and she didn't have any negative reactions, but I'm always super cautious with babies that are super special needs. Just because my cousin, she has a sister that's special needs right now, but we can put lavender on her feet and she's fine. Sarah's adopted, but she was born like addicted to drugs, and she hasn't been thriving. But we can put oils on her and she's totally fine. So it just depends on the kid, I think.
I had a class too where I was diffusing peppermint, and a lady had a baby that was nursing, and the baby started crying a lot, and she had to take the baby out of the room. So peppermint for some babies is not good to diffuse. I learned wild orange or something like that's better, if somebody's going to have a baby that's nursing, just to be on the safe side. And then Jeannie, her grandson, I think it is special needs, and he works just the opposite. Like lavender normally calms people down, his was just the opposite. And so they had to be test different oils with him because he freaked out with lavender. It was really weird, she said, but they finally got him where certain oils is fine with him and certain oils aren't. So they got it down pat.
Good.
Well, it's like what Ruth said earlier, that our bodies has its own oil chemistry. I mean, babies are no different. I mean, they have their own oil chemistry as well. I had experience with vetiver. I was up, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not even sure why I decided to do this now, but I heard that putting a drop of vetiver, like right here on your forehead, boy, that'll just knock you out. Well, guess what it did for me? It was like I was taking speed. It raced my heart. There was no sleep in that night. It was the exact opposite. So I've really had to work my body into vetiver to really do what it's supposed to do. Plus, I think that's when it sinks too. So, but yeah, I think we all have our own chemistry. That's why I always tell people in our classes and our follow-ups that just because vetiver was like speed for me, it may knock you out to oblivion and you have the best night's sleep ever. So let's not be scared of it. Let's embrace it and figure out what we need to do for your body.
Agree. So everybody read Katie's comment about using Balance and Cypress for bedwetting? Wonder where well, how did she hear about that, Katie? That combination for bedwetting? Is that in a book? And my thoughts on Zytoscans with kids, Angela. I know Kenya has scanned her kids, and I don't know if the results, how accurate were the results. And Estella has scanned her kids too, and I scanned the boys, and I think they're pretty accurate, the results. It just depends on how in tune the child is. Oh, Pinterest. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, scan them, Angela. I think it could be really helpful. It can't hurt anything. It only takes 5 minutes, as long as you can get them to sit still.
I think it's more accurate on Taylor, my 12-year-old, than on Jazzy, my 5-year-old. Or either that or she's all over the place. One or the other, because when we Zytoscanned her here the other night, I was like, she needed, like, passion was one of them. She needed all kinds of weird oils. So, but anyhow, she grabs her passion at night. So maybe it's true, and she tells me, put it on. She goes, because it relaxes me. And she goes, look, Mom, my eyes are closing. And she goes,
she's cute.
I scanned my 10-year-old, I don't even know, a couple weeks ago now, I guess. And, on the surface, everything looked fine, but I believe in Zytoscans, and we have it, so why not do what they say, right? And all of hers came up these wild emotion oils, like I would have never, like, she's always bubbly and happy, and, she just told me she dropped an entire pan of cake that she just baked, and it's in a glass pan, and I've got glass all over my kitchen right now. That's why I had to give her a hug. She got nervous about it. So anyway, she came up, and she needed elevation, and she needed cheer, and I'm like, what is going on with you? And she goes, well, what are they all about, Mommy? So I was reading it to her, and she goes, well, that explains how I've been feeling this last week. Whoa, right? So we Zytoscan kids all the time. I've actually Zytoscanned as I can't even talk. As young as 3. He was sound asleep. I put the Zyto on his belly, and his mom was amazed. It came up with all these, how do I say this compliantly? We'll just say digestive issues, but it came up more specific than that, and she was like right on.
Yeah, I scanned a 6-year-old on Saturday, and he had like 60 out of range. He was all over the place, but his mom said totally on point, totally accurate. Leah, Natalia's son, Kenya. So yes, scan your kids, Angela, and get them on an oil routine and vitamins. Okay, are we good for this week? Okay. I'm going to California this weekend, so we'll decide on Saturday or Sunday what we need to talk about next Wednesday. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Have a great weekend, you guys. Take care. See ya.
Thank you, you too.
Hey,
Bye.
Bye, you guys.